This is the state of our country right now. This video shows the destruction caused by Hurricane Milton in Florida. These devastating weather patterns will continue until we do something to stop them. At the root of this problem is CO2 emissions. Every day, CO2 and other harmful gases are released into the atmosphere that are detrimental to the lives of many. But how did this all begin?
Since the Industrial Revolution, the United States has been a leader in harmful emissions. To this day, the United States continues to not only harm the whole world with these emissions, but also cause harm to itself. Among the many factors contributing to US CO2 emissions, transportation is a major cause, making up 1/3 of all emissions in the US. This is because gas-powered engines burn precious fossil fuels into gases like CO2 that enter the atmosphere and warm up the Earth. Each day, hundreds of millions, if not billions of people commute in gas-powered personal vehicles that emit CO2 in massive amounts.
To combat this, people must shift from wasteful and inefficient personal transportation to convenient, resourceful, and reliable public transportation. However, one major problem with public transportation that deters many commuters is its cost. To address this, we have devised a solution in the form of virtual tokens to be used as incentives for using public transportation. These virtual tokens can be exchanged for train and bus tickets, as well as a variety of locally sourced and climate-friendly goods.
When large amounts of CO2 are released into the atmosphere due to burning fossil fuels, they gather in excess. While CO2's role is to trap some of the sun's heat so that the Earth stays at a comfortable temperature for life, if there is an excessive amount of CO2 in the atmosphere, then too much of the sun's heat will be trapped on Earth, resulting in a raise in global temperatures.
Since 1880, the average surface temperature on Earth has risen by 2 degrees Fahrenheit. Even though 2 degrees may not seem like much, the impacts speak for themselves. The heat has caused polar ice caps to melt and the ocean's water levels to rise. Many coastal cities are now at great risk of being flooded, and numerous species are losing their habitats. In addition to the rise in sea levels, oceans themselves are getting warmer and more acidic due to the absorption of CO2. These shifts in temperature and acidity prove to be a challenge for lots of marine life. Lobsters, for example, rely on their tough shells to protect their soft flesh. The acidity of the ocean polluted with CO2 weakens their shells and makes them more vulnerable to predators. In conjunction, the rise in temperatures both underwater and on land leads to severe weather events like droughts, hurricanes, and floods. These devastating weather conditions have even more unwanted effects on agriculture, global health, and species migration.
Our solution will be to create a centralized system across all public transportation nationwide that allocates certain points for using different transportation methods. These credits can be used to redeem free tickets, gift cards, and other rewards. This will be done using an app that can track all the information regarding the system, all of which will tie into the whole public transportation ecosystem, like using your app for e-tickets. For example, if a user rides on a metro 10 days in a row, they could receive 100 credits, which can be used to redeem a free ticket or buy a meal. Slowly introducing more people into public transportation systems nationwide will not only put the pressure off roads, leading to less money spent on expensive road maintenance and issues that can be spent on improving public transportation, but also reduce the emissions that are harmful domestically and internationally.
If executed well, the net annual 6.3 billion metric tons of CO2 emissions caused by transportation as of 2022 could decrease drastically. To fund this project, federal budgeting for the maintenance and construction of highways may be reallocated towards transit. As of 2022, over 2/3 of the United States transportation budget is spent on building and fixing these highways. If only a fraction of this budget is administered toward the public transit budget, it will be more than enough to support our project.
A big problem with creating a widely used public transportation system is that no matter how high quality they are, it's difficult to attract people who aren't used to it, and especially people who have never learned how to use public transportation. People aren't convinced that the public transportation system is convenient and effective enough to service them throughout their busy lives. That's why a possible solution to combat this problem would be to create a digital point system to gamify the use of public transport to provide an incentive that will not only benefit the public environmentally but also financially. This way, the public doesn't need to be convinced. There's an added incentive that is easy to understand and attractive to all.
Changes in people's day-to-day lifestyle due to the shift toward public transportation are minimal. On average, public transportation takes around 3 times longer than driving by car. This means that most people commuting to work may have to wake up about 30 minutes earlier than usual, which is a small loss compared to the benefits of using public transportation, in addition to the rewards given by our solution. While public transport is slower than if you were to drive your car to work, on a train or a bus, you don't need to pay attention to the road and watch traffic if you're not the one driving. Any time lost due to waking up slightly earlier in the morning can be made up for easily with a quick nap on the train. If the advantages of public transport are not apparent enough to people, advertisements can be posted on billboards, websites, and in city centers to highlight the benefits of public transportation, including the incentives given by our solution.
The effects of climate change are an incredibly important issue that must be addressed. At the helm of the world stage, the United States must keep up with the needs of its growing society while stepping up to take responsibility for the Earth's well-being. In the modern day, the issues of climate change must be met with modern solutions, and while making sacrifices to upgrade the public transportation system is necessary, there must be innovative ideas for progress.
We hope that this video has given you more awareness of the danger that our planet faces, and we wish for you to fight for change in any way you can. Thank you for listening, and that is all.